You can access the portal from the Glowpoint website in the upper right-hand corner under Sign In. You'll sign in to the Customer Point Portal with your previously provided username and password. Once you log in, you'll be brought to your dashboard. This will show any upcoming conferences you may have scheduled. You'll also find quick links here to schedule a new conference and access some additional features. Today we'll be going through how to create a new conference. Click on Manage Resources, Create a New Conference. This will bring you into the Schedule Wizard, which will walk you through the required information needed to schedule a video conference. The required details are listed with an asterisk. You'll fill in these fields with the information that pertains to your video conference. Your conference title is the meeting title that you'd like to show in your reservation. The charge code field below that is not a required field. However, you can enter information which will be available through a report within your company. On the right-hand side, you have your options for the actual date and time of your video conference as well as the pretest. The pretest is used to allow our VNOC to make the connection for you. We recommend at least a 15-minute pretest. However, you can change it to any of the available options if you so choose. To choose your start date and start time, you'll use the pop-up listed here. We'll select April 1st and we'll schedule our meeting from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. Your time zone will default to your primary time zone associated to your information when you log in. If you need to change your time zone, you can do so by selecting it in the drop-down. Below the date and time, you have the option to schedule a recurring meeting. If you check off this box, it will ask you to enter the recurring details. You can choose to schedule based on your needs. You can choose every 1 week, you can do a bi-weekly conference, whatever you may need for your conference. If you're scheduling a single occurrence, simply leave the recurrence box unchecked. You also have the option to schedule an audio-only conference. If you just require audio information from Glowpoint, check off the box and continue on to the next page. If you're scheduling a video conference, leave audio only unchecked and move to step 2. Step 2 is where you select your conference rooms. You'll click on Select My Rooms and you'll see a list of your video conference rooms. From this list of rooms, you can choose the rooms required by checking off the box. Once your rooms are selected, click Close and Update. Within your calendar grid here, you can see the availability for these rooms. The green section is when you're trying to schedule, while the blue section is your pretest. Both rooms are available. If there were any conflicts, it would show up in red and you would be unable to move forward. We've completed page 1. As long as all of your required details are filled in, you can click on the next page. On page 2, we'll enter our participant information. You'll enter the number of attendees participating in each location. You also have the option to choose different start and end times. If you have a room that's going to join only for a period of time, you can enter this on page 2. Keep in mind the room will remain blocked out within the portal for the entire duration of the meeting. You also have the option here to check off if any of your locations are going to be the host location, if anybody is presenting, or if there will be clients attending in any of your locations. Simply check off the checkbox for that location. On the far right side, you have the comment section for each room. This will show up in your email confirmation and can be sent to the participants for that room. You may want to include information about when you would be taking a lunch break, if you require any details or additional information in the video conference room, such as a whiteboard, pens and papers, different things like that. It will show up in your email confirmation. You'll click on the next page once you've filled out all of these details. On page 3, we have a few additional steps to enter. Step 4 is your Glowpoint Now code. If you're going to be using Glowpoint Now, enter your Glowpoint Now code. If not, skip over this page, skip over this step, and continue on within the portal. Step 5 is the participant information. The host will default to your information based on who you're logged into as the portal. If you would like to change this information, you can do so by typing in the new information. The host name and email can be entered by manually typing it in. If you have any additional email addresses you would like to add, you can include them in the CC email field. If you have more than one email address to include in your CC field, simply put a comma after the first email address and enter the additional email addresses. Step 6 is the comment section. This will be visible again in your email confirmation. This is where you'll find any changes that may be made on behalf of the user by the VNOC. Entering information in the comment section will not be relayed to the VNOC, however, it will show up in your email confirmation. This is how we communicate any changes that may come through the VNOC by email or phone. Step 7 is your screen layout options. You can click on Change Layout and choose a different layout if you so choose. The default will be full screen voice activated. However, if you would prefer a different layout, simply choose from one of your options listed here. You also have the option to choose a lecture site. Based on the sites that are involved in your conference, you will have them listed in the drop-down. A lecture site allows all of the participants in the conference to view only the lecture site and none of the other locations, whereas the lecture site will see all locations involved. Step 8 is if you'll have audio participants joining your video conference. If you will have audio participants joining, check yes, and then you'll choose to either have VNOC provided audio or customer provided audio. If you don't have your own audio to use, select VNOC provided and advise how many lines you'll need for your audio conference. You can also choose your entry announcement if you'd like there to be a tone or the name to be announced when those participants are joining, as well as the exit announcement. The default is none, so if you would like an announcement, make sure to update the drop-down. You also have the option on the right-hand side for some special audio features such as operator-assisted, Q&A service, participant list, or audio rebroadcast. If you would like to use any of these services, simply check off the box and advise how many lines you will be needing. We will provide an update through email once we've sorted out your special features. If you have your own audio information, check off Customer Provided. Enter the dial-in number that you'll be using as well as the host code. If you have an additional participant code, you can enter that information in audio participant code. Step 9 is additional services. If you would like to use an additional service, simply check off the box next to the service you'd like to use. Some frequent services that are used is the basic concierge service, which is a meet and greet. The VNOC will come on the call with you during your meeting pretest and ensure that all sites can see and hear each other. Additionally, a dedicated concierge service is used as well. This will allow the VNOC to remain on the call for the entire duration and will be available to help you or assist you in any way during your actual video conference. Step 10 is for external connections. If you will be conferencing with somebody that is outside of your company, you'll want to check off the Enable External Connections box. Within this section, you can enter the external company name that you'll be conferencing with, as well as any details that you may have for this company. If you know the name of the room and it's been certified already with the VNOC, you can enter the name of the endpoint involved. If you don't have that information, you can simply enter any information you have about this external location, such as the IP address, ISDN number, local site contact, anything of that sort. If you don't have anything, simply include whatever you do have, and we will be in touch with you by email or phone to get this external location set up. Once you've filled out all of the information on page 3, you'll click on the next button to continue on within your reservation. Step 11 is your final page of this portal. This is where you can review and edit any of your details. You have orange edit buttons available to take you to those pages if you require any edit buttons. You can also use the previous button at the bottom to return to the previous page. By reviewing your details, you'll see everything that's going to be scheduled for you. We have our meeting scheduled for April 1st, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We have our conference title, Video Conference with Joan, and we have our requester and host information, as well as the rest of our details, such as our audio. On the right-hand side, we have our rooms that are involved, and these will show in the local room time. So we can see the Seattle location will be joining at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, while Houston will be joining at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Once you're comfortable with all of the details that you've scheduled, click on the Finish button. This will save your conference within the portal and will send an email confirmation to those in the requester field, the host field, and the CC email field. You will get a conference ID number once you finish your reservation, and this is what we would use to identify your reservation if you need to make any updates or cancellations.